Good morning, everyone. So there are a few announcements. Is this not working? It is. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So we have a few announcements this morning. First, everyone is welcome, and you're especially welcome to join us for refreshments after the service, just through this door and down the stairs. And Holly, you have an announcement for us?
I hope this is my last announcement wearing two hats. The first one is this October hat. We have final tallies for you, and they're even larger than was in the Friday email, because I took some of the cash and for those who don't know, October is our socks and underwear donation drive to benefit three agencies, safety net agencies in Gloucester. Anyway, we have been given 603 pairs of socks, 276 underwear, 178 hats, gloves, mittens, and scarves, 3 coats, and 70 miscellaneous items. It's a major wow. This year, for the first time, the Essex Church joined in our efforts, as did Rockport, and they have in the past. Okay, second hat, the holiday fair. We have a pre-fair sale for you. Our new member, Donna Dunn, has created beautiful greeting cards, Christmas cards, with a picture of the church in the snow with a wreath on the door. And she is offering these for sale at the fair, but also before the fair. And I'm hoping that people have time, if they haven't bought your cards yet this year, you can order ahead. They're going to be $5 for one card, $10 for 5 cards, and $25 for a box of 10 cards. And they are beautiful, and she will be at coffee hour.
So I forgot to mention that this Sunday we have lunch following the service as well, an added inducement to join us downstairs. And all are invited to come to the Bring Your Own Lunch from 12 to 1 every Friday. You can bring your own lunch, and it's just a chance to meet here at the church and chat and get to know each other a little better. And I think that's everything. So welcome to all of you, and a special welcome to our guest minister this morning, Joe Murphy. So let us now begin our service.
Welcome and good morning. My name is Reverend Joe Murphy. I, among other things, am the director of UU Mass Action, or in long, Unitarian Universalist Massachusetts Action Network, a very long name to have on our tax forms. We are a legislative advocacy network in Massachusetts, organizing congregations like yours to do justice work in the areas of immigration justice, climate justice, economic and housing justice, Indigenous solidarity, and decarceration efforts. This morning, I will have for you, if you like, a lovely little form that I will stand here, and while I'm shaking hands, if you are interested in receiving our newsletter, or if you're interested in one of our topics to be contacted by an organizer, please fill it out and I will log you into our system. Our call to worship this morning is Come Into This Place by Margaret Weiss. I invite you to take a breath, ground yourself, let the light coming in from the door and windows welcome you. Come into this place with your whole self, the parts that are raw and exposed, the part that is beaming with joy, the part that is seeking the truth, the new, the possibility. Come into this place, open your heart, lay down your burden, lift up your hope, for come into this place with fellow travelers in the journey, some faces new and others familiar, and all welcoming you here, now, to this moment. Come, let us worship together. If you would now join me in rising as you are willing and able in singing our opening hymn, Love Will Guide Us, number 131 in the gray hymnal. Remain standing in the lighting of our chalice, the words to be found in your order of service. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Life is a gift which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. We also light a candle for peace. May we be filled, surrounded, and held in peace, and let the peace in us radiate outwards to all places that need peace, which feel that they are most places. So let us feel an inner peace that can go out, settling itself upon lands of violence, places of violence, communities of violence, so that there may be peace, that there may be justice, that there may be grounding in love. Now, actually, you can remain standing for our activity this morning is a little ambitious, but I think we can do it. And if you need to sit, of course, please sit. We are going to do a pass the pulse. We are going to unite our heartbeats into one heartbeat by all holding hands. And it doesn't have to be in a circle, but hopefully we can all be connected to come back to me. Blessings on the pulse that is the beating of our heart, that both is individual and community, and with a little hard work and good communication can beat throughout all of our communities. Thank you for participating. As I bless this pulse, I bless all of our hearts that may be in grief, that may be in love. Blessings on the hearts that are concerned, that are sad. Blessings on the world in all parts that are suffering. And blessings on all the joys and delights that we feel here today. May these delights and joys pulse out into our communities, into our worlds. We'll take a deep breath together. In and out, blessing our dear hearts, those that have heartaches and those that are jubilant. Breathing in and out. Our reading this morning is a poem by Jane Hirschfield, All the Difficult Hours and Minutes. All the difficult hours and minutes are like salted plums in a jar, wrinkled, turned steeply into themselves. They mutter something the color of shark fins to the glass. Just so, calamity toward calmness. First the jar holds the omboshi, then the rice does, of all the difficult hours and minutes.
And now, to support the work of this church, our morning's offering will be given and received. Blessings upon the gifts and upon the givers.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. Good? Okay, better. This mic feels very far away. All the difficult hours and minutes. I was drawn to this poem less because of the salted Japanese plum, or oemboshi as it's called, and more because of the title, the line, all the difficult hours and minutes. These weeks, these months, these years have been filled with difficult hours and minutes. From genocides and wars, shootings, the fear of ongoing violence, and climate disaster. These times have been filled with difficult hours, difficult minutes. This poem also speaks of a transformation, not a transformation of ugliness to beauty, or from seed to fruit, but of a juicy plum to something just different. Something salted in a jar. In a world so wrecked by havoc and torn by injustice, I believe it is important to seek out the stranger, the weirder transformations, the ones that perhaps focus less on a complete transformation and more on preservation, on survival, and how beautiful and nourishing survival can be. For the Japanese plum, it will not stay ripe and plump and juicy forever, but it can, once immersed in salt, still nourish a body and still complement the rice. Many years back, I began answering an immigration hotline for the accompanying work Beyond. Beyond is one of our partners at UU Mass Action, the Boston Immigration Justice Accompaniment Network. Beyond answers calls from detention centers, people that are separated from their families, wanting to touch base with their partners, their children and friends, people who need help with bond, people who have questions for lawyers, people who are just reaching out for any type of lifeline. These hotline shifts are filled with difficult hours and difficult minutes. Within these difficult hours and minutes, I like to think that there are tiny pieces of transformation, much like the salted plum in a jar. Plums that, though they have been through a lot and now are salted and less juicy, can still be delicious, can still provide what they need to provide. When I first started answering the hotline, we had an actual phone that we would hand off. First of all, it's important to note that I hate answering phones. I hate calling a restaurant for a reservation, and that call holds a lot less significance. With this phone in particular, I was continually anxious that I was not going to be able to even hear the person on the other end, not to mention if I could respond to their needs. And some needs I was able and am able to meet, and at other times I felt completely useless. But as I have learned to feel of use is not always the point. That would be great if every need from every call was met. For me, this work has been about something else. We are consistently urged through our Unitarian Universalist values and principles to see our dignity as the dignity that is tied to the dignity of others. A dignity that, when seen in others, is godly, sacred, a type of holiness that connects us to a love, perhaps a God, that tells us to love the stranger and to love the stranger actively. And yet loving the stranger has been a struggle for us as a people and us as a country. Through my experience of having answered the hotline, it has become more and more apparent to me that truly learning and feeling someone's dignity as tied to yours, loving beyond those that are familiar, it's not just something to mull over, preach, or write about, but it must be something we act upon. There was a particular moment when I was answering the hotline during the day. When I was answering this hotline, I was also nannying for a young 2-year-old girl. During one shift, I had just gotten the little girl I was nannying for down for a nap. She had stopped crying and was sleeping soundly, and of course the hotline rang. I connected a man through a 3-way call so he could speak to his wife. In a quiet room, especially when we use this particular phone, it is often difficult to avoid hearing the conversations. I often walked away from the phone once I had placed the call, recognizing the awkwardness, the imperfection of hearing conversations that in other circumstances, that in any circumstance, I would not be a part of, I would not hear. In this instance, I could hear the conversation quite clearly as the wife talked to her husband. She was talking to her husband, struggling with his absence, tiredly explaining to him that their son kept making detours on his way home from school and was not coming home when he was supposed to. The son then got on the phone, and the dad proceeded to talk to him about his behavior. I heard the son's small voice, filled in part with dejection, a certain despondency and sadness. I teared up and then got angry thinking about a world where a man who has done nothing wrong has to parent his little boy through the phone. I had received many a call before this one. Before I had heard a mother and son and father trying to be a connected family over a hotline. But I am not sure I had heard the full humanity before. How awful. Upon this realization, I turned my disgust, hurt, and anger at the system toward myself. There have been so many calls before that have broke my heart, but I am not sure I had heard the other person on the line as part of my community, as my sibling, neighbor, friend, until this one particular call when I overheard the wife of someone who was detained talking to her husband, tiredly explaining to their son who kept making those detours. This system that insists again and again that these people are not our siblings, our families in detention. They insist that the people they are holding are illegals and insist on detaining them. Before we go on, I want to recognize the importance of making holy interruptions in our lives so that we get not too bogged down by these stories. In our gatherings that are in person, we often will come together and sing. And there's a song that we sing that you probably know, and if you don't know, I invite you to sing it. I'll sing a couple of lines and just join in whenever you get there. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. As your people are my people, your people are mine. Your people are my people, your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. As your people are my people, your people are mine. Your people are my people, your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. 'Cause your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. One more time. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. As your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Your divine, my divine. Another story told by a friend. A man in detention whose wife just had a baby. At his court date, his wife came to support him and came to show him their new baby. The man only had one arm, but of course was still shackled. He asked if he could be unshackled for just a moment to hold his new baby. His request was denied. They kept him shackled. Onlookers watched as a father was only allowed a few minutes to see his baby and was denied the right to hold him. These stories illustrate how we have lost a part of our dignity, a part of our humanity. These are difficult hours. These are difficult minutes. It is up to us, all of us, the ones on the outside and inside, to reclaim this humanity, to transform a world that though she may not have forgotten her loveliness, we seem to have forgotten it. Let us remind ourselves and each other of this loveliness. Let us remind ourselves by working to fix our interconnected web built on recognizing that our dignity is tied to the dignity of all living things, to all people. I could stop here, but I think there is more to be said about the actual, tangible actions to take. In this time, we are called by our faith to act and to act faithfully. Many of us, in fact, have been bombarded by actions to take every day. There are rallies to attend, representatives to call, causes that need money, petitions that need signing, potlucks, fundraisers, workshops, so much that calls our attention. While, of course, I think all of these are important, I also think it is important for all of us that are worried about the loveliness of humanity fading, for all of us who are worried about our connected dignity faltering, to find one action that connects you to people outside of your community. I encourage you to keep welcoming and fighting, welcoming refugees, fighting the system, keep asking what is needed, keep finding ways to affirm dignity. For me, this action has been answering the hotline or volunteering in prisons. For you, it could also be volunteering some time to work in a prison, to answer a hotline, visit a deportation center, step out of your neighborhood, and make an outsider an insider. Before the pandemic, I attended a dinner for all of those who work in different capacities with the Beyond Immigration Network. 3 people were there who had been in detention and who had been impacted by our network when they were on the inside. They had lots to say. They had lots to say about improvements to make. When it came to the hotline hours, the question of sending more clergy in, or general network members, they had frustrations and sadness to tell, but they also talked about hope. They talked about how many of all the people around them had given up, and part of what they had valued about our work as a network was a voice from the outside that gave them hope, a voice through a hotline that connected them to a loved one, or a visit that confirmed their humanity instead of denying it. Sitting around the dinner table, many of the people who had gotten out of immigration prison shared how life could be better navigated from the inside. They differed on these ideas, but they all nodded their heads when hope came up. A basic type of hope had sustained them, a hope rooted in the fact that there were people living and breathing outside a detention center, and a group of these people beyond their family and friends believed that they deserved a life outside of detention too, that their lives did not deserve to be detained and dehumanized. The Reverend Elizabeth Wynn, in a keynote address to the Minnesota UU Social Justice Alliance, reminds us that liberation is not measured in task forces or downloadable PDFs, but it is measured in nimble, loving, humble partnerships. As much as liberation might feel easier if it was just about showing up to a meeting, signing a petition, and downloading a PDF, what a wonder and what a relief it is that liberation is actually about relationship, that is actually about love. Let us measure this liberation, our liberation, in love. We are seeing on the ground people being abducted daily, parents, children, grandparents, community members, and more. We are seeing daily violence from ICE in our communities. We are seeing people unable to pay rent or worried to go to food banks because they could be picked up by ICE. These are not new, but they are heightened. Though love may at times be a struggle, I urge you to move into concrete ways to showing up in those nimble, loving, humble partnerships with immigration communities, with other communities, with communities both within and outside your familiarity. Let us love. Let us love and put our action to love through remembering those in detention, those denied the right to step over a border are our family, and let us give them everything our family deserves. Bell Hooks has noted that to love is to be open to grief, to be touched by sorrow, even when sorrow is unending. And wow, does it feel like the sorrow of today is a bit unending. They are ending, but also let us remind each other that though our sorrow may be unending, so is our love. The salted plums do not have to be a calamity. Let us hold them in a jar, in the rice. Let us hold them and eat them so our bodies may remind us that they are feeding us even if they have lost their sweetness. Amen. If you would now join me in the unison prayer printed in your order of service. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector of those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those in danger, sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need for as long as space endures, and for all as living beings remain. Until then, may I too abide to dispel the misery of the world. May we be sanctuary, may we be refuge. If you would now join me in rising as you are willing and able and singing our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home. Our benediction is from a poem by Assata Shakur in her autobiography. I believe in birth. I believe in the sweat of love and in the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship steered by tired, seasick sailors can still be guided home to port. Amen and blessed be. Join me in the song of parting. Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment,